Hey there everybody, this is Austin at the Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. Showing you a new piece of embroidery I just bought. Actually, I'm going to show you everything I just got at garage sales today. It was a Saturday, so I went out and about, and I found what is probably my new favorite piece of embroidery that I own. That's not true. The teapot. Probably the teapot. If you can beat the teapot, you got a place in my heart, you know what I mean? Look at the amazing work they did on the waves there. I'm so happy I have a good camera now, because you can really see. Now, somebody asked me earlier if I thought this was hand done, and I don't know. I mean, I couldn't begin. I'm sure one of my much more educated people will be able to tell us whether or not they think this is hand done, but I'm not an embroidery expert at all. I'm just an appreciator. I mean, I really, I'm not buying this stuff to make money or anything. I'm fascinated by it. I mean, I watched my grandma crochet and knit, do all sorts of embroidery and all that. I apologize if any of those terms mean the exact same thing. I'm not up on it, but I do thoroughly enjoy it. So that's our new piece of embroidery. If we're Facebook friends, you already saw my new big piece of ink painting from well, somebody said they thought it was from Japan. I thought it was from China, but they could easily know more about that than I do. I got several Japanese things today, and a couple of things the other day. I don't think I showed you this tiny, adorable teapot. This is clay slip moriagi. So the alternative would be enamel. So if they had used enamel to build up this like relief, then that would be enamel moriagi, but this is clay slip moriagi. I'm seeing how dirty my fingernails are. You know, just ignore me. I really do stuff just all the time. I mowed the lawn today. I went to like 6 garage sales. I really dug in stuff. So I mean, you're seeing genuine gross hands right now. So this is definitely a Japanese dragon. Oh, and look, he does have 3 claws there. If you can hear my fan going, it's going to be an absolute necessity this summer. So I mean, you're just going to have to ignore the faint buzzing noise in the background. Just pretend I'm having more fun than I'm supposed to on YouTube here. Just kidding. Don't think about me doing that. So yeah, it was just the little teapot and a little saucer and cup. And a lot of the time, if you look through the bottom of these, you can see a little geisha lady. I'm definitely pronouncing that incorrectly, but let me put the light behind it here. But you can see on ours, there's nothing at all. And if there was a geisha there, it would be called lithophane. But mine doesn't have that. And sometimes they're even sassy, like sometimes the hidden image on the bottom of the cup that you can only see through the light is actually a sassy thing. Like, do you know what I'm implying? Like, I don't know what I can say on YouTube, but yeah, sometimes there's stuff going on in the little hidden image there. And that's a kind of fun thing to look for. But nothing on mine like that. I think they were probably for a child or maybe a doll's toy set. Now, this one I cheated on. This I got online. I paid $25 with shipping. And you'll see that this is Meiji-era cloisonne. Meiji-era Japanese cloisonne. Meiji-era kind of implies Japan, because that's where that time period occurred. And I'm very surprised upon seeing this in real life to realize there's purple in it. Japan really appreciated purple, and I really appreciate them for that. And there's a ton of fantastic little colors on these. So these are dragons, and these are phoenix. And yeah, I think that's very cool. Those are actually little like white flecks. I don't know. I've never seen that technique before. And then up here, these ones appear to be kind of shiny, so I don't know if it's the same stuff and I'm just not seeing the shine on the bottom, or... But that's cool, the little flower there. Butterfly there. You can see the wire work. I think this is a very, very nice little vase. And $25, there's no damage or anything. It's got some purple on it, which is really just a notch in its cap. Anything antique and purple. I thought this piece was kind of interesting. It's got some Moriagi on it, and I believe this will be enamel Moriagi. You can see how shiny most of it is, and it's possible they mixed the two mediums to get this effect. I'm not entirely sure. Very cool gold painted bird that's just a splash of green with gold details, and then a ton of little Moriagi droplets that, you know, are pretty reminiscent of berries, and they're around flowers, so maybe they actually are berries. But I thought that border and bird were really cool, so I picked this up and I was like, okay, it says $2. This is from an antique store. An antique store charged me $2 for this. And you know, usually I'd have been a little hesitant, but once we get to the bottom, it's actually got a pretty interesting mark. I don't know what any of that says, but this is actually made for Japanese domestic use, I imagine. Or it's antique, like a genuine antique, or it's made for Japanese domestic use. But this will be the artist's signature, I believe. And this will be the company that made it. So, yeah, I might actually be able to figure out who that is. I assume this is Arita pottery, because it's very white. But yeah, it's got an interesting little spout. So maybe it's a sake pitcher? I'm not entirely positive. And these kind of dots here, those are a pretty heavy relief Moriagi. So I thought that was very cool. Let's go back to the bird one more time before we go. I love the tail on it. That's a pretty fantastic thing. I really like that. Golden signature. You don't usually sign things in gold unless you're like, all right, it's stuff. Oh, and you know what? Look how good our camera is. Now that I'm looking at this on my camera, we can already see the dot matrix in that printed part right there. I wasn't sure this was going to be printed or not, but it seems like at least some of it's going to be. I still think it's a very cool looking thing, but you can see, like, even her makeup there. Can you see those little dots? So that's a printed dot matrix. So this is not a hand-painted thing, which is totally fair. You know, again, this was $2, so I'm not out anything on it. I actually really liked it anyway, so I was like, you know, even if it turns out to be printed, which I had suspicions pretty immediately, but even if it turns out to be printed, I think it's a very cool design, and I'll happily let it sit somewhere around my house without worrying too much about it. Just a little made in Japan thing. It must be, I would think this is kind of early. But, you know, like, first to second quarter of the 20th century, I think. What do we have next? Okay, we gotta go down for this. Not that a lot of you will mind, dirty birds. Too much? Probably too much. Washington by Howard Gray Douglas. Oh, put my hand in the way. This is the cover of a book. And let's just like start to explore it a tiny bit. We've got two pictures of the Capitol on this page. I don't know if it's showing anything different. I don't think so, because there's the same ladies are sitting there. But look at their clothing, so we can pretty safely determine this is late 19th, early 20th century, I would imagine. Look at the binding. I don't know if this is just an artist's folio or exactly what's going on here, but the Capitol East Front. There's some really interesting snapshots in here, you know. There's stuff that definitely doesn't look like this anymore. The Peace Monument, I don't know. I don't even know what that is, honestly. I am not familiar with every monument in our country. The U.S. Supreme Court. I wonder, can we see a dot matrix in this? I think that's just like poor printing, right? Or, you know, development. I don't know if these are printed or what. I think a couple of them are loose, so I bet we can see. The U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives. I'm sure these buildings do not look like this anymore. Ignore my cord. Oh wow, look at that. It must have just been in there for whatever reason. White House remodeled. The White House. See, and there is, I don't know, is this the way periods, or I mean, is this the way pictures from this period would always look? God, that was an aggressive question if I had finished it. Good Lord. Worst antiques channel ever. Various rooms in the White House, I believe. The President's room, the Green room, the Brown room. Just kidding. They all look brown right now. The State Dining Room, the East Room, White House. Man, that's a pretty incredible room. Chandeliers are pretty cool. Oh, look, this one I think is loosey-goosey, so we can look at the back of it. I don't know. I think that might just be old paper. So maybe these are like very old prints of these pictures. I'm not sure. Oh, Lord. That one's gonna mess you up. It's not printed correctly. However they did it. It's like giving me double vision looking at it. Library of Congress. This isn't like a scrapbook, is it? Is this just the scrapbook of like pictures from various other books? I don't know what's going on here, man. It's cool though. The main hall, marble columns, Minerva stairway. Oh, that's kind of rude, isn't it? Wow, isn't that beautiful? Whatever this is, the grand stairway. Look at that. We got a big Washington monument and then a couple of smaller ones. So yeah, I don't quite understand what the purpose of this book is unless it's just, I mean, are these all one artist's photographs, do you think? Or what is going on here? It is just a piece of paper with a pope on it. Is that a pope? That's a pope, right? Must be. Hey, notice these tassels here. They're probably made out of rope. So that's a pope on a rope right there. I don't know if you what a waste of a joke. I mean, really, really, really. Where Washington worshipped. Oh, wow. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about these? Seems like they might just be on some sort of paper. I don't know, why would you print them in another paper and then put them on paper, though? I don't understand. You know, I just don't understand anything about this crazy world these days. State, blank, and Navy Department. I feel like YouTube will give me trouble if I... Oh, that's a crazy building. If I say the middle word there. Yeah, I'm serious. I don't think you can. Okay, so that's a book about Washington. I don't know, like I said, I don't know exactly. All right, hold on. Hold on. Set that somewhere gently. All right, so then I got some Japanese things. So I'm not sure all of what that says, but Japan. These are like I want to say racially European people who first settled Japan, and they're like Japan's native people, I believe. And isn't that actually kind of an amazing picture? I don't know what these stylized things over here are, but first off, he looks awesome. He or she looks awesome. And then even this patch here with the graphic black through it is super cool looking. So that's one of them. You know, I was thinking about looking at these, and I was like, man, the corners keep rolling up. And then I was like, well, you might as well own stock in a paperweight company, bud. So why don't you handle business? Ryuichi Kikuchi, I think. I'm not making fun of anybody or anything. I really think that's what it is. And this is a woodblock print, I do believe, of irises. And isn't that beautiful? 1969. AP, I'm not sure what that means. One of these was numbered. It must not be this one. So this is also Ryuichi Kikuchi, 1969, 3 of 30. This artist was born in 1930. So he was already 39 when he was making this. So I got 2 of his floral woodblock prints, which I assume that's what they are. If you look at the back of this one, which immediately rolled back up after I undid it. You know what? 2 of these are missing here. I have to find them. Hold on. Alright, so we just had a couple more other little things. I believe this is a vintage postcard from Japan. Very cool little thing, and you can see the stamp matches the card itself. I've got paperweights on these because they kept trying to roll up. How cool is that chicken? So seriously, that thing's awesome. And then we've got this lady. She's got some writing over here. Not sure what that says. And this is a genuine woodblock print. Somebody was nice enough to write print on it. At least it's in pencil, so there's that. It's an interesting mark, isn't it? Kind of looks like a monkey. But yeah, she's awfully pretty. I paid like $5 for those. So yeah. Paid like $25 for all 3 of those, or I mean, all 5 of those Japanese art pieces. Paid $2 for this cup, which I still think is pretty neat, even though it's a printed thing. Paid $2 for this cup, which I think is super cool. It's not a printed thing. I paid $25 for the cloisonne. I paid $20 for that huge piece of art that I showed you guys on my Facebook earlier. So if you're on my Facebook, you already saw that. That's a pretty big thing. It's pretty neat, I'd say. Wouldn't you? I don't know what I'm talking about. This is Austin, the Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. Let me show you this guy one more time. That's awesome. Super cool. All right. I'll show you what I get next time. Who knows? Who knows?